Greetings. I am Celestine Iisha Star, and I am ambassador to the High Spiritual Council, the Galactic Star Federation, and the Star Confederation. I'm here to offer you today a transmission from Commander Tanandor of the High Spiritual Council. The date is May 4th, 2021, and at 8:08 a.m. I received this beautiful transmission for humanity. But before I begin the transmission from Commander Tanandor, I would like to offer an introduction into the transmission download. I've been waiting for the proper time for me to come before the council, and this morning, was the perfect timing. I entered the chamber, taking time to adjust to vibrational frequencies of the Council of the Golden Flame chamber room. After greeting the council, Tanandor came forward to attend to my requests. Tanandor appears to me as illuminated being of white, iridescent, radiant light, tall, in a long-sleeved white robe with essence of golden light. His emanation is one of ancient wisdom. His eyes are brilliant blue, as unseen in this dimension. He speaks to me telepathically with kindness and compassion, often showing me formations of life rather than spoken words. This journey to inquire before the High Spiritual Council is like no other. I know in my deepest knowing something terrible, terribly wrong had happened. I telepathically addressed Tanandor in seeking the answers to my concern. My question to Tanandor of the High Spiritual Council was, what happened to our star relations in our area of Earth? That would be California in the United States. The skies have been empty of their presence. The commander of the Galactic Star Federation and their company of star relations in their terrestrial spaceships had not been seen making their routine flights across the sky within the Earth's atmosphere during the day or the night for the last few Earth months in time and space. Nor had we seen the Star Confederation galaxy starships enter or leave Earth's atmosphere within the same time and space. The shift in not seeing the Galactic Star Federation or the Star Confederation activity seemed to have begun when the Syrian Council arrived to Earth about 8 weeks ago. Can you advise me as to what is occurring to cause their absence? Gently and surely, I began to be shown moments of time and space. I was shown the Wuhan virus pandemic occurring since March 2020. The rollout of RNA affecting treatments being given to the world population as vaccines. The RNA affecting treatments changing the RNA DNA complex in humans worldwide. Visions of Wuhan virus, Wuhan, China being where a deadly virus entered the world population, and the untested genetic engineering experimental vaccination program directed by Bill Gates, Anthony Fauci companies, and their contingents, including the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and other governmental agencies. With these two occurrences effectively began to permanently shift the human genome on a massive scale. I'm seeing now being shown Bill Gates's concern and support of population control for future stabilization of planetary population. I'm seeing several of Dr. Anthony Fauci's patents on viruses. In seeing Dr. Fauci's patents, I see he has one on HIV virus and other patents on biological viruses and immunization formulas. I'm being shown knowledge and utilization of successful pre-hospital medical treatments to patients who tested positive for the Wuhan virus being withheld by the medical doctor profession and the CDC, or the Center for Disease Control, in the early beginnings of the pandemic in March 2021. Now being shown 1 year later, knowledge of the pre-hospital treatments information being released very slowly to the public. I noted April 2021. I'm seeing the toll on humanity from withdrawing the pre-treatment knowledge. Millions of humans in covered cloths showing their death from not having the simple home treatment available. The vision changes to see people who have died from the adverse reaction to the RNA affecting treatments. I see the overlay of the wording, treatment, experiment, clearly. Vaccines being a word that denotes proven medicine, which I see this medicine has clearly not been tested in the early stages of offering the RNA affecting treatments to the human population. Tanandor shows me next the incident in the Panama Canal. Bill Gates' evergreen cargo container ship filled with equipment, including nanotechnology, which were created to work with 5G transmitter radiation beams to affect not only the skies but the earth, and to shift the agriculture and food available, moving humanity towards the need for GMO food produced by Bill Gates's companies. I'm told that the nanotechnology was to be used in conjunction to microwave towers. I'm being shown the ground and offloading of the cargo ship was effective in stopping the plan to change the atmosphere and Earth's soil and agriculture. Tanandor shifts my attention to the answer to my question of why I'm not seeing the star relations, Galactic Star Federation, or the Star Confederation in the skies. I'm being shown that certain things are happening with the 5G towers. The towers programmed to emit 6G levels of radiation microwave energies, making them weaponized towers. I'm being shown how radio microwaves above 26 gigahertz could interfere with some of the terrestrial spaceships used by the Galactic Star Federation, causing them to not function properly. Tanandor telepathically shows me that 5G microwave radiation beams are strong enough to cause deadly harm to the human, animals, plants, and water life on Earth, if not handled properly. If the towers are activated to work as 6G space weaponry units, the destruction will be devastating. I was told that the Galactic Star Federation terrestrial spaceships used for planetary purposes, not deep space, have been taken out to be reserviced. The Syrian Council fleet came to Earth 2 months ago, have the technology to assist the Galactic Star Federation in revising their spaceships to the 5G, 6G towers, and other human space weaponry will not affect their spacecraft. I was told they were revising their spacecrafts to no longer be affected by the 5G, 6G microwave radiation technology of 26 gigahertz to the megahertz of 3 to 1,000 and above. The Galactic Star Federation and the Star Confederation have withdrawn into the septicles, or a different dimensional field, but they are still present and doing what they need to do to complete the function and purpose of their life. It was very disheartening, and I worried because I didn't know what had happened in not seeing the star relations I had come to know and love. I know that the Syrian Council was there monitoring the skies. The Syrian Council made sure to connect with me in a clear and positive way, offering their creative strategic alignments with the galactic anti-gravity Syrian spaceships. Their spaceships can leave Earth's atmosphere in seconds. I did not consider their spacecraft just terrestrial ships, but galactic starships. Many of the Syrian Council spaceships would do maneuvers to show me in great joy of their presence. I was able to photograph many times when they made contact and communicate telepathically and engage in aerial maneuvers for me. Tanandor says to prepare for the next wave of the moving towards the end of the era of deception, because the ability of the government and those who are in the space program to cause harm to the Galactic Star Federation spacecrafts, they do not want to get into a war with them. We on Earth call it war. They, our star relations, call it a confrontation. The weaponized towers, some are 5G communication towers, the space program, deep space weapons, would not be usable if the Syrian Council had to shut them down. I noted, the Galactics can take down the towers and the deep space weapons at will and will make them unusable, but they do not want to cause, as Tanandor says, differentiation, which is what they call war. The differentiation between humanity and the High Spiritual Council, the Galactic Star Federation and Star Confederation have withdrawn to another dimensional field and are now cloaking themselves. We are still moving forward. The connection is still strong, and I can rest assured, as Tanandor says, everyone can rest assured that they are still working to move us through the next phase of reality. They have assisted in the bringing down of the Bill Gates Evergreen project from Turkey to here in the United States and other parts of the earth. But be aware that the countries that have been assisting are finding it difficult to maintain their own base of reality, which is to stay hidden with the support of the Galactic Star Federation and the Star Confederation, and not allowing this world to be taken over. It's happening right now. We are in the middle of it. We are in the end game. We are told by Tanandor the strengths come with preparing ourselves. What we're looking at in the next months to come is the financial collapse of the currency around the world. This is the time and space for preparation. We have time, 6 months, as we are heading into the winter here in California, to prepare for recognizing we will be doing bartering and exchange. Tanandor recommends having gold, silver, metals, gems that can be traded, things that if all currency went on pause, that humanity would move into a place where they didn't need money to have exchange, but could work to help each other as they do on many colonies and other planets throughout the cosmos. I want to end here with some comments in between. So basically, we have 6 months to figure out ways to create the bartering system, to create structure in the ways we barter. I do remember that we used to do bartering gatherings where everybody would come. If you needed someone to fix the house, they could exchange for meals, getting small clusters of bartering to begin so that we can fall easily into this way of life, because there are exchanges now that are based on the cryptocurrency. Moving into these areas in small groups and staying strong is a good idea, because one just needs to understand how to provide for oneself without the use of physical currency. That will no longer be utilized by the next 6 months. In the same way as before, we now have the final phase of this big transformation for the world. The world is moving out of the global capitalist scenario. Tanandor telepathically tells me it is a global exchange transformation. So envision what it looks like if all the physical exchange, the US dollar, the yen, the euros, the pesos were all gone. What would be put in place that would be comparative? Envision what could be offered. The baseline is barter exchange, and to begin to envision and organize our humanity in very joyous and luminous ways. The Radiant One is shifting the experience on Earth to one of a higher frequency of reality, opening the heart and going into the center core of oneself and allowing the Radiant One to give the imprint to each individual, how they can bring forth in their part in this transformation of exchange. It's happening, and we have 6 months. I give you this and understand that we must prepare each of the small clusters or units to make it easier to manage. Someone does water, someone helps guide us in food structuring, gathering several others to help assist them or just themselves if they have immediate access. Begin to look at Earth's resources in the purest form, someone to guide with metals, different forms of exchange. How do we help take care of each other, housing, etc.? The clustering is important as it makes it easy to recognize and organize and flow very easily. To date, cities like Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon, and others are finding it harder and harder to maintain control of their cities as hundreds of homeless and marginalized citizens appear, carrying with them a dangerous ignorance of needlessness and an awareness that in masses they are powerful enough to overtake the police and government agencies. There's a lot of illuminated love and assistance from the High Spiritual Council present to assist us during this transformational time and space. The Syrian Council is here to make sure that those whose agenda is to keep our star relations from their rightful place on earth do not cause an outbreak of differential action. Glory in the light of the Radiant One. Know that we are being held in the highest vibrational frequency as the earth goes through the final phase, the collapsing phase of the economic world. We end the transmission. Blessings on high from Tanandor, Ambassador of the High Spiritual Council. This is Celestine Iisha Star, and we are complete. Transmission from Commander Tanandor of the High Spiritual Council, May 4th, 2021 at 8:08 a.m. I know that this is a very powerful transmission, and some of you may say 6 months. That is correct. But as we look at this is only a probable future, but it is, in a sense, a warning that those who are holding the earth hostage with their deep state program and trying to intervene with the actuality that our star relatives exist and that they are not looking for differential or what we call war. They are not looking to take over the earth because if they had, they would have done it already. And so I want to just place that on the table and let you know that whatever is moving humanity, we are going off the cliff. There are two timelines. One is definitely being misled by a reverse consciousness, not one of unification, not one of understanding or speaking truth, but rather giving to humanity what is necessary for their agenda. Be aware. And we hold them in the highest because they are a part of our species, and we send divine love and presence to them and letting them know that we hold the sacred timeline of evolution for humanity. This is our time to evolve. This is our time to be reintegrated and to join in our star relations. And I've had over 40 years experience with them. And I can tell you that as the image here I give you that was given to me, if we look at a white beach, a beautiful white beach, you will see one speck of black, and that is the percentage of the reverse complex within the whole of creation. So what they're saying to me and what I'm saying to you is that the illusion is that they control the world and they control our lives. But in truth, we have our own awakened consciousness. And so those of us who are not on the timeline of going over the cliff have the opportunity now to hold the vision high, to stay strong, and to really, really see that it is our time to steer the earth towards evolution. We welcome anyone who wants to awaken to that, to join in small groupings and devise ways and means of strengthening each other. We do have means of doing this, and in many ways we do it every day without reckoning. But now we want to hold to this, and as we move forward. And I just came from these cities that I was spoken in this transmission, the city of Seattle, and believe me, it is, you're feeling the edges of a city that is not under control. Sending lots of love and blessings and belief and envisioning that the city will be able to calm and bring the humanities together, and that everybody shall share in the wealth and the need, so there's not those that are wanting, and to express their dangerous ignorance, because it was not pretty. Okay, there you have it. Blessings and glory in the light of the Radiant One. This is Celestine Iisha Star. On behalf of the High Spiritual Council, the Galactic Star Federation, and the Star Confederation, we bid you peace be on your way.